Go to what?
Push it on back. Just push it back to the edge.
Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Yeah, yeah. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. Yeah, yeah. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Yeah. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Yeah, yeah. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. Yeah, yeah. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Yeah. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ is my blessing. He came to give me His blood. Come to the grace from the grace to the sky. I'll tell you I'm covered. I'm good. I got that He over me. He be all over me. Working around me. And it's understood. The fact that He comes with me. He's always there for me. I feel that I know that I'm loved. Yeah, yeah. That's my G.O.D. And yeah, He hold it down. You wanna talk about kings? Well, mine will take the crown. Yeah, my God, my Lord, the baddest in the town. And where He at, I wanna be around. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life is covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life been covered by the blood. Can come back, stay both flat, and I run it back for the kingdom. Might get thick, but I've been fit. I take the hit while praising Him. Thank God that He sent me His Spirit to keep me together, to lift me on up. He keeping His promises now. I realize it's been Him that's been filling my cup. Yeah, yeah. Get up and go praise Him. Didn't He get you up? How could you just sit there? Get up out that rug. Get that breakthrough. Get them blessings. Pay your tithes and take them lessons. Ask for wisdom. This takes patience. Do your part. That's how you say again. Keep praising Him. Don't let nothing stop your praise. What's going down? It's only temporary. It's just a test of faith. It's part of the package. Just living His Christ. He handles your battles. He was on your fights. He's watching by day and He covers by night. Just focus on Him and you will be alright. You're trapped in His bosom and safe in His care. When He pays your ransom, He handles your fare. You're all the way covered. No need to be worried. Just look all around you. You see that He's there. He gave it to you. Trust Him. Yeah, He got it. Yeah, He did. Don't add no twist, no pulling. This ain't bopping.
This way you're down, okay?
Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm covered. I'm covered. I'm covered. I'm covered. I'm covered. I'm covered. Yes, I said it. Yes, I'm covered. 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 Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus Christ, my Savior, one up for the Lord. Wake up and go praise Him. Thank you to my God. About to get some blessings, favor from above. Because my life ain't covered by the blood. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Get in here, get in here, get in here. How many know this today that the Lord has made? Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So thankful to be here tonight. I'm having technical difficulties on my phone, but glory be to God. We've linked up with my guest tonight, my good friend, Pastor Quentin Burnett. And we're here at 92.9 FM KGPJ right here in the heart of Grand Prairie, Texas. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Q. Name your church, how long you been pastoring, just all that kind of good stuff.
Hey, Quentin Burnett. Hey, Believers Faith Fellowship. We share the same building, 1636 North Masters in the wonderful Pleasant Grove area.
Amen.
I've been Pastor T's musician for about 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And, yep, we're getting ready to celebrate our 10th year anniversary in October, first weekend in October.
So what we shared Saturday was your preaching anniversary.
Yeah, not pastor. No,
43 years.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it. How's it been?
Hey, man, ups and downs. and I told another guy, I said, you know, you understand what God means in the journey, because while you can recall like the high points, what you really remember is all the days it was just you and God.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Just you and him.
Yeah, you know, your girlfriends, as soon as you get married, and, oh, I remember this activity, or I remember, oh, this happened this one day. But yeah, after 43 years, hey, man, all of the, every church I've played at, I would go to the church at night and practice.
Okay.
And so, the old rhythm, can I get a witness and all of that? But if you're in the church by yourself, ain't nobody saying
I'm not
that.
saying that.
And what you learn is, hey, just preach, whether they say amen or not.
Yeah.
And, God did stuff, man. I preached in places that without a church you wasn't even supposed to get.
Right.
And, God opened doors, man. And it's been that way from then till now. And just grateful for the journey. Had no idea. Because you don't ever think when you start something, this is the way it's going to go and this is the way it's going to end up.
Right.
Yeah, man. The only thing I knew for sure, after my first semester in Dallas in 1986, I knew this is where I was supposed to be.
Right.
I called my mom in Chicago and said, hey, Chicago would be a place I visit. This is where I'll be living.
Wow.
And I've been here ever since.
And that was when?
1986.
1986.
Yes, sir.
And you go home to visit how often?
Used to go once a year around my mom's birthday.
Okay.
Now, if I get there,
is when I get there.
yeah, that's it. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm excited, Q, to be here now. We coming up on 10 years of pastoring. Tell us a little bit about that. How you feeling about that? What's going on with that, man?
We pastored in Irving in the 90s for 7 years, and it was my wife and I, and we didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
And so, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few.
Yeah.
We learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Because at that time, man, we were the preacher, the musician, the singer, the janitor, the sound man, the finance man, and after a while you realize you need help. It's no way.
Right.
You can do it by yourself. And so, the first round, after about 7 years, I told the people, I said, you know what? You can do what you want to do. I said, y'all not going to kill me. And we kind of took a break, if you will. And in my mind, I'm done.
You done pastoring?
Yeah. And people would ask me stuff, and I would tell them all the time, God will have to leave heaven and come sit on the top of my roof before I ever. And
so did he leave heaven?
I guess he did. I guess he did, man.
Cause we finna celebrate 10 years in October.
Yes, sir.
As pastor of this church.
Yeah,
this is
Believers
unbelievable.
Fellowship.
And the chemistry that we have, man. You and I met. I just saw you playing. I think it was at Greater Mount Pleasant first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw you at Good Shepherd.
Yeah.
And just the excitement and enthusiasm that you had playing the organ, man, just literally blew my mind. And God would have it that you would be with us.
Yeah.
And you celebrating how many years with us?
Coming up on
10.
9 years. Yeah.
9 years. So you was passing a year and got with us and been there ever since.
Yes, sir.
What keeps you there?
Hey, man, it's the atmosphere. It's you. It's the realness of the church.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, I know what it is for people to always promise and never deliver.
Right.
That's one aspect, and then this David Saul aspect in terms of you just want to help.
Right.
And then people feel like because again, the whole thing with David and Saul, David didn't do nothing to him.
Right.
But you let a song get in your head and turn you against the man that was most loyal to you in the whole place.
Right.
And so, Pastor.
He let a what?
Yeah, in the whole.
He let a song.
Yeah.
A song turned Saul
Against
David. Because they were singing about how Saul had killed so many people and David had killed so many people.
But it was a true song.
It was a true song, and Saul got mad and turned on David.
He didn't even write the song.
He didn't write it.
Or sing it.
Or sing it. He heard it.
Yep. And so, man,
wow.
To get at a place where, hey, man, you said what you meant and you meant what you said. You did it. You stayed consistent. The people were great. And then the other dynamic was, you say this all the time, it's a free place, a free place. You hear that through the years, but until you experience it.
What do you mean by free? I mean, I know what I'm saying, and you saying you've heard that for so many years. Explain that.
A free place to where you told me what you wanted and said, now go do it. You didn't. It wasn't about micromanaging. It wasn't about looking over my shoulder. The freedom to not just for worship, but rehearsal, and especially in the service, to where we were free to move.
Right.
It wasn't structured. It wasn't, hey, we got to do these many songs, or we got to do this, we got to do that. And us learning to lock into each other so that when it was the right time, hey, we don't need nothing else.
Right.
No more songs, no more nothing. This is your time right here. And that's such an awesome thing.
We dropped him off where he needed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that we only missed it one time. And we talked about that after that service, where through the singing, you can only take the service so high.
Right.
And the higher you take it, it's the better platform for the preacher.
Right.
Well, see, we still had another song or something to do. Well, when you hit your height and you miss that, ain't nowhere else to go after that.
Ain't nowhere else to go.
So now we're down, and then we're looking at each other, and you realize, that was the off-ramp. We should have got on right there. And I just thank God that scene has never happened again. But freedom to, when we've had to write songs, man, I mean on the spot, because you preached something that it wasn't no hymn, it wasn't no song. Right. Nothing to go with it. Right. So the freedom to just, hey, let's write something on the spot and learn it on the spot and sing it and it go right there.
Oh man, that was birthed during the parking lot meeting during Corona.
Oh yeah.
And you may have done it before in the church, but I just remember some of the things that I was preaching, and when we opened the doors of the church, the choir singing it.
Hey man, put your foot on his neck.
Yeah.
And hold it.
Put your foot on his neck.
Yeah, man.
Foot on his neck.
Just like that.
Foot on his neck and hold it.
Just like that. And it's like, yeah.
Wow. I remember those times, man. It is so amazing that everybody's like, can we go back to parking lot church? Nobody told them it's too hot.
Yeah. And but see, what people ought to learn is some stuff is just the season.
Yeah.
Don't miss the season.
Don't miss the season.
Because you may never
see that season again.
Man, that was such a, and the guy that came in, the lady brought in Sunday. Mm-hmm. That was a direct result. When she came in, she said, Pastor, this is the man that was sitting on his porch.
In the parking lot.
When we were doing parking lot ministry.
Right, he was sitting on his porch.
Would have never come into church, but because God made us take church outside.
Right.
Oh, man.
The man is a man that sits, we turn out to the parking lot in the back. He's the second house on the left. He works on cars. He said, man, I'm going to tell you something. I miss parking lot ministry.
Wow.
Because he was a member of IBOC, and when they wasn't going to church, he could sit on his porch or even in his house, and him and his wife get a word. He's always watching the church. He calls me about everything that's going on, and he does what only he can do.
Wow.
You remember we had people coming up that were driving up on their scooters sitting in church. That was a defining moment.
Yeah.
For the ministry as a whole. You guys were free. We didn't have no script. I think we got to see God in the purest form doing that parking lot music.
Man, and again, to me, when the pandemic first started, that's when, to me, it got more real than it had ever been. Because, see, at this point, they told us you can't have but 10 in the service.
Right.
Well, what 10 are you going to have?
Right.
And to have it reduced down to that where we got to sing, we got to play, but we also got to say the amen. We got to be the audience. We got to be the everything. And it was a trip on the front end, but to see people, hey, if this is what it is, this is what it is. Nobody made us come.
We wanted to come.
Because what if this was going to be the new norm?
Right.
And I remember as churches began to open, my sisters would say, it was a drag. Now you got thousands of people and we ain't got but 50 spots.
Right.
And people were literally fighting
over the 50 spots.
Wow. Because when you could go, I don't know if I'll go or not. And then the minute opportunity is taken from you, you realize it's a privilege.
Right.
To be able to worship God freely.
Right. And that was a good time, man. And it really cultivated a deeper relationship because it was just so many people. You and 3 choir members and a drummer. There's 5, me 6, and camera and audio made up to 10. Mm-hmm. That's all it was.
That's it.
And when we did that for about a month, and when they said we can go outdoors, I went outdoors. I never thought I'd ever be outdoors.
Yeah, that was something.
But that was something because the parking lot was full, and the 10 was still on the inside, so we still were in compliance. And the reason why I'm talking about that because it leads us to the reason why I brought you here.
Okay.
We talk about financial illiteracy.
All right.
And you've been with me for some 9 years, and you said something last week about 3 years ago. You heard what I was saying about financial literacy, and you moved.
Yes.
The reason why you're so important here, because I have preacher friends and pastor friends that are listening. Pray there are, that members can take this to their pastors. This language, this concept has set you free.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not wealthy, but you're free. To hear and move when God says move.
Yes.
And I've been knowing you for years. And to see you now, it's an honor. You know, not that you weren't providing, but you was providing to the best of your ability.
Right.
You was doing what only you knew to do.
Yep. Operating without a plan.
Without a plan.
And that's what's so important, because that's how God works. He gives who He wants to have the plan. Just in my life tonight, it's like, you know, one of the Bible verses says, Paul said, use us as an example. If you want to see how it's done, just look at us as an example.
Right.
And so initially, you know, you struggle. And so the point for the listeners, you know, we were in a men's class, and, you know, just talking about just how we conduct business. And the statement was made, you know, how many of y'all been working most of your life? Well, all of us raised our hand. And how many of y'all make good money over your life? How much money do you think you've made? Well, shoot, man, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. Then he asked this question: if you had to, how many of you could put your hand on $1,000?
Cash.
Nobody in the room moved. And I thought, wow, I've been making money since I was a young teenager. I mean, and probably you got to think, I mean, way over in the hundreds of thousands that you've made in a lifetime, not even 1,000. And so that was the challenge that night. Hey, start saving, put some aside. Yes, when you get your money, we know to give God a faithful tithe and offering, and then we generally spend the rest. He said, man, save some. Put this to the side so you can get to 1,000. It's going to change your life. Okay. I don't care what nobody else in the room did. I initially went home, and this is so significant, because I told my wife and kids, because I expected everybody to be excited. They was going to get on board like I was excited when you first said it, and didn't nobody do nothing.
Nothing.
And I said, that's okay. Y'all wasn't in the class. I was. So obviously the message was for me.
Right.
So y'all, when I would give my money, I would start saving. And it was the whole journey is exciting, because I know what it is to live not from check to check, from struggle to struggle.
Wow. From struggle to struggle.
Yeah, it ain't even check to check.
Explain that, Q. Explain.
Dude, no, man.
Struggle to struggle.
You get paid Friday, and Monday you broke.
Okay.
So ain't nothing left in the week. It ain't no check to check.
It's struggle to struggle.
So now, yeah, hey man, can you let me have $5? I need gas. Hey, can you let me have $2 or $3? Hey, can somebody buy me lunch today? Man, that's a struggle to have to beg like that. And you live from struggle to struggle, and then God will show you how to get from that. Hey, just do what the plan said. This is somebody I've given expertise about money. You don't have this.
Right.
This ain't about how big your church is, how many members you got. Listen, man, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. If God lays out a plan, okay, I started saving. I got to about 700, and we had a financial family emergency.
Okay.
And what my family would normally do, we panicked.
Right.
They did. Oh my God, what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do? And for the first time, I was able to.
In how many years, Q?
Man, at that point, shoot, man, we had been married 20-something years at that point.
So you mean to tell me for 27 years you panicked and coming to the class, hearing the word about the financial plan, implementing it, and that ended that?
It changed.
Just like that.
Yeah, from the savings, I got up to about, how long it took, moving along, but I got up to like 700, and whatever the emergency was, because of the plan. Not just hearing it and going home and doing it. Yeah, every day, every week, when I got paid, I honored God with my tithe offering, I saved some. Hey man, for the first time, it changed how my family saw how we're supposed to handle emergencies.
And how they saw you.
Yeah, because at this point, well, why we shouldn't worry? Because at this point, now, you gonna call your mama? I'm gonna call my mama, see if your brother got $50. Hey, ask her, did you know how much last month? Hey man, we didn't have to go through none of that. Hey, we
What
got
you
it.
tell them, Q?
We got it. How we got it? Cause see, I wasn't making no announcement.
You just saving.
I was just saving. Wow. Saving. And so when I went in the room and pulled the money out and we could do it, where does money come from? It came from what I told y'all to do, that y'all didn't do. And so, of course, at this point, it ain't everybody, but one or two of my kids was like, oh, that's how this works?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't predict when a situation will come, but if I've been taking care of business before that time,
I'm good.
oh, man. And it's like from then to now, man, God has been just opening the doors, increasing. The more you save, and then you're able to do more, it frees you more. You're able to give more. You're able to go places. The struggle changes, and you're able to now. This part I came that you might have life.
Yeah. You and have it what?
Yeah, and have it more abundantly. See, and I tell people, we on our way to the more abundant, but just to be able to live.
Yeah, to live.
Dude, past the struggle. We ain't even checked the check. Man, I knew days and time. If you gave me $5 Sunday, it was spent Sunday night.
Right.
Man, to be in a place where somebody give you $5, you go home, put it on the shelf by the bed, and 5 or 6 days later, it's still there.
Hold on, Q. Hold on. I think people are missing this. This is so dynamic. It wasn't $500. It wasn't $100. It was $5.
Dude.
And it sat there for 6 or 7 days.
Yeah.
What did that do?
Hey man, that's a shouting moment because you got to go back in your mind and be like, wow, God has blessed us. It's so good to where you don't have to go through it as soon as you get it. You know, to be at a place where because you saved, man, to tell people, okay, it's a little money in the bank. Oh yeah, I got a little money in my pocket. Yeah, I got a little money, in the house wherever you got your stash at, and it ain't no issue.
Hold on. So here's what I teach. The 70-30 rule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard that. 70-30. You take 10% and put it in your pocket. Because here's, I think, one of the biggest problems is, Q, and you're proving that. The worker never gets paid.
Never.
So now when you take 10% and put it in your pocket, it don't mean you got to spend it.
Mm-mm.
But I got it in my
Pocket.
Okay. Now I got 10% that I'm giving to God. And whatever else comes with that, and there's 10% that I'm saving.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're living off of the 70.
Yeah.
And if you're living outside of the 70, you're living outside your means.
It's a game changer.
Game changer.
It checks you, right away. Because see, now people hate that B word, that budget word. See, we just want to live recklessly.
Right.
But you can't when some structure has been put in place. And you see, and that's it's the mindset, and that's what's got us so toe up in the. You got to get it in your mind, man.
Sure.
You don't live better spending recklessly. You live better under some type of structure. 70-30 is awesome because I done took care of God. I done took care of savings. I got something in my pocket, and yeah, as you
And we
said,
still
some of the
live.
other people, yeah,
And we live. So when you get ready to move, I tell them, if you make $1,000, you bring home $1,000 a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
100 that go to you, 100 whatever you want to give God a tithe and offering go to God, $100 saved.
Yep.
And I got $700 a week to live off of. So if my lifestyle is over $7,800 a month, then I'm living $2,800 a month. Then I'm living outside of my need at this moment.
Absolutely.
And the goal was $1,000, right?
Yep.
And I remember you telling me how what your kids were saying. Okay, the goal is $1,000. You don't have no money until you have $1,000 saved.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that, Q.
Oh, because after I first got there, okay, now my other kids are starting. I got 4 kids, and now they in the saving game. My wife in the saving game. So now we having money conversations we ain't never had.
Such as?
Yeah, such as, hey, how much you got? not how much you done spent.
How much you got?
How much you got saved?
Saved.
Yeah, because you can't keep growing this and spending it at the same time.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, and everybody want to talk noise. Well, I'm 100 there. I'm a 200 there. I'm a 300 there. But at the end of the day, yeah. So when you finally cross this threshold for
Of
1,000,
yeah.
See, now you think, oh, I didn't spend it. I said, oh no. I said that's the bottom.
That's the bottom. You don't even touch that.
Yeah, you ain't got no money till you get to 1,000. If you got $1,002, now you got $2 to spend. That's it.
How did they take that?
Oh man, it's once I was able to meet the financial need
That night.
Yeah,
Okay.
that changed the house.
Changed the what?
That changed the house.
So everybody get it.
So at that point, yeah, one by one, everybody said, "Oh no, yeah," because if Daddy hadn't did this,
We'd be in trouble.
every problem ain't gonna be the house. What if it's a personal problem?
And they ain't got no money.
See, and so everybody began to just, cause see, that's the beauty of it. It ain't, hey, you got to do $50. You got to do $60. You got to do it. Hey, you just save. You make sure you putting something
Away.
You putting something away. And yeah, man, to get to 1,000, not to cover a bill. This ain't my income tax check, man. You saved 1,000,
Wow.
dude.
So think about this, Q. Not really counting. It's 4 kids and you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So do you understand the buying power or the stability that comes from? Let's say all of y'all save 1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
That's an equivalent of that's $6,000 cash
Yeah.
on hand.
It's, hey man, the
And
the reality of that, we had to have major front end work done on the van.
Mm-hmm.
Took it to the shop. The guy called me back. He said, "Hey, about $3,000 to get it all done." And so at that point, I told the kids, I said, "Well, hey," in our little family, we got a family little text group. I said, "I ain't got but 1,000, and but this is what it's gonna cost." Well, see, if the car don't roll, don't make no money.
Don't nobody make money.
No.
Okay.
And so everybody realizes, oh, we need this car rolling. But it wasn't no panic because now
man.
it wasn't just me with the plan. We had the plan.
Wow.
And so in the text, here go my daughter. Okay, well here's 800. Here's this amount. Here's 1,200. My wife came in talking about, well, you ain't got 1,000. You got 2,000 because here's my 1,000. But dude, this wasn't everybody emptying out their savings.
No.
So they had succeeded their 1,000.
So they still rocking.
Dude, I was able to call the mechanic back the same day and say, fix it. That same day the man fixed it, I was able to take him $3,000 cash. Drove on out of there. And wasn't nobody crying, talking about, hey man, I'm totally broke now. They had made 1,000 past what they needed. So everybody was able to pitch in, and that was a game changer.
For the whole family.
Yeah, because you know, mama, daddy, you always want to bear the burden, but some stuff it ain't just for you. It's for the family.
The family burden.
Yeah, and everybody was able to with cheer, man. Hey, we chipped in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the saving game, it's real. It's on too, man.
Wow. And you look different.
Oh, hey, man.
You know, you don't have you look like you don't have a care in the world.
Man, because this ain't just the money game. This is God's word.
That's right.
You're teaching us. Yeah. You're teaching
Oh,
us.
that's fine. That's fine. I just know where it comes from.
Yeah, you're showing us because you got it from.
Yeah.
Because God didn't say, "Hey, go out here and teach street folk."
Mm-mm.
He gave you this so that you could teach kingdom folk
Kingdom folk how to win.
and I mean win.
I mean win. You know, I remember when you went through the car deal. How long you went with just one car, Q?
Man, please.
30-some years you've been married. How long did you go with one car?
Probably 18, almost 18, 20, 27 years.
27?
20 something. I don't
20
know.
something years.
Yeah.
20-some years, one car, 6 people.
Yeah, we were doing 1,000 miles a week.
1,000. You were getting an oil change every month.
Dude, 1,000 miles a week on the car.
I remember when you this is the one you remember you had that Saturn, that gray Saturn.
Yeah.
Because I would tell you, hey, you know I move cars, blah 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 blah. I got the Saturn. When that sucker quit you.
Hey, man. we done kept a lot of cars, man. Hey, man, the dealership give you 10 to 12 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking 10 to 12 a year.
Y'all doing that a month.
Hey, man, this ain't gonna make it.
This ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, but because of the saving. And then it's like, yeah, not only the 70-30 rule, when you got money, you can negotiate. You got deals.
You got deals
that are always available, but not for you with no money.
Not for you, and I mean cash.
Yeah.
Not no debit card. I mean cash in pocket.
Yes, sir.
So when you look, you got your cash with you, and when they give you that number, you drive that car home.
Hey man, my wife worked with a lady, and she had a couple of problems with the car, but it wasn't really nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
She told my wife she was gonna sell it for $1,000, and my wife, when she told me the year, make, and model, I said she didn't underbid herself. I said, ask her to make sure if that's the right price. She said, no, Miss Ken, $1,000 talking about, and you can make payments on it. I told my wife 3 different conversations. I said, make sure that woman is $1,000. The third time she said $1,000,
What'd you do, Q?
I said, tell her I'm on my way up there. Dude, I said, she got the title? She said, I got the title right now. Dude, I took her $1,000 and bought my daughter a car. Cash. You talking about a game changer, not payments. Cash.
And then you wouldn't have to get whatever done fixed on it, and you ain't got no note.
Dude.
That carried her through college, didn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, Q.
Dude, she drove the fool out of that car.
Wow.
Yeah. Cash paid for it. That this don't happen without the saving plan.
Mm-hmm.
The deal is still there, but it's for somebody else.
That's for somebody else.
Yeah, and I would tell Buddy, my son, he would see you driving all them cars, and he said, how's Pastor T doing it? I said, man, because he take care of his money. He save. So when the deal comes, and it always comes.
They coming.
It comes for the one that's got the cash,
That's
though.
got the cash.
I said that because he got the negotiating power, he can make the deal happen.
Right there.
I said, see, ain't nobody got time for, hold on, man, hold on. I have my money together in like 3 weeks. No, dude, in 3 hours, whatever, this car is gone.
Let me tell you what happened the other day. I bought a car the other day, and I done moved it.
See?
One of the members, she said, I'm selling my car for about $1,800 or whatever the best offer is. You know, Q, and this is who I am. I can lowball you, but I know you.
Yeah.
What you trying to do? I know what my number is, but if I can always get it less, I will.
Mm-hmm.
I know you needed money. She said, well, I got somebody that's thinking that's talking about coming to get it for $1,500. Well, tell them it's gone because I'm almost on your house. And I pulled them $1,500 bills out
See there?
and drove off in the car. She went in the house happy. You know why? Because whatever she needed it for, it was. She said, I got to have it done by 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was there at 8:30.
See there? Yeah, hold on, let me rustle up something.
No. I had I got a white Lexus GS300. That's when my feet. I was on crutches. One of my boys called me and said, "Man, this dude got a car for $1,000. He need to go on today." Q, I was in so much pain. I was gonna wait till later. I told him to send me the pictures. I got up when I said, "Tell him I'm on my way." I ain't even haggling. You know I'm a hustler. You know I got 8. I didn't even go there. But go get my title. Now it needs a transmission in it now, but as I do the calculation, I put the transmission in there for about $3,100. I paid $1,000 for the car. It's the $4,100 I got in it. It's still valued at $6,500.
See there?
So I still ain't lost. I haven't lost. Y'all, when we understand financial literacy and you do what's being told,
Right.
this ain't learned, this is caught.
Right.
Learning means you got to, no. You just catch the wave
Mm-hmm.
and get one deal under your belt. You see life whole different. Totally different.
And it's important that it comes in the church.
Right.
Because we are some of the worst people when it comes to how we don't even manage, we mismanage our resources.
Right.
And so when you have somebody who God has blessed to teach you the game, because it's a game with everything. The Bible said the schemes of the enemy, but it's a game go with everything. Now, if you're going to play, you ought to be playing to win.
That's it.
And it helps when you see somebody who has learned how to win and they are winning.
Right.
Oh, man, it's
Right.
it changes the whole dynamic, man.
You know, it's kind of like the guy in the wilderness cutting down the tree, right? He just whack. Don't hear nothing in return. He out there all by himself. Whack. Whack. Q. The greatest feeling in the world. Say greatest feeling in the world.
Greatest feeling in the world.
When you hear something go whack, you hear come say whack. Wait a minute. Somebody else out here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you hear whack. Whack. Whack.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It becomes a challenge then. Then you hear, whack. So people are getting it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're catching and they're learning. Another story, this one man was out there. They was in San Francisco looking out on the bay, and they saw this one man. He was throwing seashells back in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing? I'm saving the next one, every one I touch. He said, why don't we go in town and get an entourage of people, and we come back and we all throw them in? Because you're only limited by the number you can throw in.
Yeah.
But if we got 1,000 people throwing in seashells back in the water, every time we throw 1,000 go back to the water.
Yeah.
And here's what I believe. I believe it. The two most powerful messages that will grace my lips is salvation and financial independence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to teach you how to live on earth and how to make sure you live in heaven.
Right.
So now the whole man is ministered to.
The whole man.
The whole man. The pastor included.
Yeah.
See, because you got a following.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you start cutting, you at your own church teaching your folks these concepts based on what you've done, not what you read and what you see. We don't have theory no more, Q. We got facts.
For real.
No, this works. How you know? It worked for me.
Yeah. Done it and still doing it.
And still doing it. And you were talking about how when prices, the gas shot up and your job wasn't paying for fuel. Talk about that, Q.
Yeah, to know that, yeah, my wife and I, we drive for this company, but it's the good news, man. You know, most folk, see, because you ain't got no money, you ain't saved, you ain't done what you're supposed to do, you gotta go even when there ain't no benefit to go. Because see, yeah, if you don't raise the driving price, we're literally either driving for free or paying to drive.
Right.
But because of implementing this, every time God blessed, we paid a faithful tithing offering, we put something away. Well, see, yeah, now I'm doing it, my wife doing it, all four of my kids doing it, and see, that's extra money. Because see, if I'm the only one saving and they ain't saving, when they have their issues, now you're taking out of my money.
Right.
But see, because everybody is saving, now the house is expanding. And so, yeah, I told my wife, I said, oh, no, that rate is too low. And even before that, you know, when we talked about Top Gun Sunday. Tell me, man, you gotta take it right here. She had a route Sunday afternoon, but it was, you know, it was a low ball route. And so because it wasn't no hurt, I said, hey, cancel that route. We got somewhere to go. And so cancel the route, and we went to see
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Tell me that wasn't a good movie.
Hey, man, that was a good movie, man.
What did she say when you talked about it? What did y'all take with him there?
Man, I'm telling you, the fact that, because initially I said, hey, just be ready to go. The movie's at 3 o'clock.
Stop!
Yeah, cancel the route.
Hey, don't make that money.
Yeah, and don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We good.
We ain't finna lose it. Hey, man, let me tell you something. God,
man!
But see, he says, give and it shall be given. See, when you follow the rules like God says,
give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, men
shall give into your bosom. Hey, man, I came to church Sunday and
wow,
I put 170.
Uh-huh.
I left 170 at church.
Uh-huh.
And 3 people said, "Hey, man, we missed the service Saturday, so that we just want to be a blessing to you." I brought 170. I left that at church. I gave.
Mm-hmm.
I came back with 180, and so I told my wife, I said, "See, yeah,
you can't beat him.
You can drop that route because God has already
replaced it.
What the route wasn't gonna pay, and you ain't got to be in the sun for it."
And we finna go watch the movie. We finna go on the Sunday evening day.
Dude.
Did y'all eat at the restaurant too?
Hey, man, we been in the doc. And so the reality is, the kids going, where y'all going?
Don't worry about it.
This ain't got to do with y'all.
Ain't got to do with y'all.
Yeah, this ain't a family deal. This is just me and Karen. And so, yeah, dude, went, had a great time, man. And,
bro.
And again, ain't worried about, oh, man, I can't spend this because what about the light bill? What about this? Dude.
Don't matter.
all, man, when I tell you,
See,
you talking about financial literacy, and then from that to financial freedom.
yeah, it's a game changer. Not rich, but financial freedom that you don't have to be. Nobody can tie you down
No.
because you're applying the principles that work.
Dude, when we go on the app to see the routes, oh, that's all y'all paying? Oh, I ain't working for that. It ain't no struggle because it ain't like we got to go into hermit mode. Hey, what you want to go eat?
Yeah, where we going?
It ain't McDonald's.
No,
it ain't
you
churches.
sitting down in them fine dining.
Man, come on.
Man, Q, listen to me. I really, we talk a lot about this.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, the Lord said in 2022, show them what winning looks like.
Yeah.
And one of my pastor friends, which is you, my musician, my pastor friend, we share the same building. It's a joy to watch us grow together.
Yeah.
It's not me looking down. I get excited watching your ministry grow.
Amen.
I get excited knowing that you got more followers online than you do sitting in the church. Because what we have, it's God's.
Yeah, and that's the church though.
We
So
share
see,
it.
When the pandemic hit, we were just doing YouTube, but
Right.
it wasn't live.
Right.
And it would take the little sound guy 4 or 5 days. We would record it Saturday, and then you might get to see it Thursday or Friday.
Wow, it's time for another one.
Yeah, and it would take that long. And so when the pandemic hit, of course, we know what we're gonna do, but you had the stuff already set up at the church,
Man.
and it was like, hey man, I'll have my people teach your people how to go live. Just go live. And because of that push at that time when the pandemic started, it invited people into the service from cities and states we have never been to.
You all over the country.
Dude, and I mean consistently. My finance person, she will randomly text me, hey man, there are people who are giving online, and she asking me, do you know who this is? I don't know who it is. Nobody in the church knows who it is, but they're giving
Online.
every week online. Ain't never been to the building because when the pandemic hit, we didn't have that stuff in place. We didn't have the cameras.
But because you came there, the door was open for you to be free to do your ministry.
Yep.
Let me tell you how y'all blessed us. I told the church, I said, see, y'all missing it. This is their dream site, but it's our site.
Yeah.
They're more excited about your site than you are.
Mm.
You've taken it for granted. They've never had it. And to not be able to, it is not costing them their lives to enjoy it.
Yeah. That's a game changer, man.
You know, when you came over there, man, what you want? What can you do? It ain't no fleecing you,
Yeah.
and you got access to all of this. You said something Sunday. Carl said something Sunday. You know, this is prime time for homegoing services. Not at this church. The prime time for 11 o'clock, you can't get Pleasant Hill on them Saturday. Because there's a church in there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Prime time for Pleasant Hill for a church on Saturday is after 1 o'clock.
See, and this is what there's always a front story, y'all, and there's always a backstory.
Yeah.
And the backstory, his mom just passed a little while ago. And so when he called me, I said, hey, man, you only got one mama. I said, and so we were prepared to do whatever we needed to do. I said, if you want to do it at 11, and so, hey, let me call my family. He called me back. No, it's going to be 1 o'clock. And so what people need to understand is, see, yeah, he didn't even make no provisions for his own mama. Hey, God's word, ministry got to still go on. You can't afford to miss the service. Somebody will come. Yeah, he was grieving, had to bury his mom, but it was after the work of the Lord. Hey, man.
See, because Q, for your ministry to grow, people, they can't walk up there and the doors are locked.
Yeah.
Not one time.
Yeah.
I remember what you said at the time. You talked about you counseled church and somebody was talking about committing suicide. You never saw that person again. You don't know if they did it or not.
Oh no, that guy, yeah. We were slated to have a Bible study, and I don't even know. It wasn't even like it was raining or nothing. You know, sometimes we just be in our feelings, and it's like, you know what, we're gonna just cancel tonight. The guy came to the house where we were supposed to have the Bible study. Where's the Bible study at? Oh, they're not having it tonight. That guy killed himself that night.
Wow.
And you know, you these are memories you got to live with the rest of your life, knowing could we have made a difference? Well, you'll never know because you put your stuff over God's stuff.
That's it. Let me tell you what happened to me. I had this one guy. He came and said his goodbyes. He said his goodbyes Saturday night.
Wow.
He said he laid his clothes out. He was coming to church one last time. He was going to shake my hand and tell me goodbye.
Wow.
He said, but man, sitting in this service and the word God gave you today was just for me.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Q, we think this is a game.
Oh, it ain't.
People's lives are on the line, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was just one of those that was admitting to tell us.
Wow.
How many people, Q, do you think that don't say this but have these thoughts?
Oh, for sure.
And they're sitting here saying, man, something got to give. God goes, I'm out. And the last sentence you made that you thought wasn't nothing changed his life.
See?
Saved it.
And that's not only a saving word, a church word, it's also a financial word.
That is.
Because we quick to take the weight on us as the husband or father.
Mm-hmm.
When the family come to you and you ain't got no answers,
Yeah.
where do you go from there?
Yeah.
And yeah, God is going to always get the glory. And when you are in a position to where, hey, you do what I tell you to do. You do what I tell you to do. One of the strongest stories when this famine comes and, you know, Joseph is in Egypt and God says, hey, 7 good years, 7 bad years. But the 7 bad years going to wipe out the 7 good years. I'm going to give you a plan to make it through the 7 bad years. Man, the most powerful part of that story that tears me up is the Egyptians wasn't supposed to suffer. That's what the 7 years of plenty was. Y'all were the ones that had the plan.
That had the plan.
Joseph told Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, that's a good plan. You run it. So now, yeah, the whole world was supposed to struggle, not the Egyptians. The Egyptians had to beg, steal, and borrow. When the dust settled, you were relocated because you said, hey, buy us in our land. We ain't got nothing else. Where's your money at? You didn't do the plan. Y'all had the plan and didn't work it. You had the plenty. You had the plan and didn't work it. So see, yeah, God, this lack, poverty, we've been conditioned for it. This ain't what God never said.
No.
And so to have somebody on the scene that's prepared to not just teach it, I'm going to show you what that is.
So what it look like?
I'm going to show you what that is.
Let me tell you something, Q. About 6 months ago, God said, bless this member with a car. I said, okay. I'm looking all around, trying to find something. I had some deals working, they fell through. He said, anything but bless him. Well, they got a car. The Lord said, that ain't what I told you. And the car disappeared for whatever reason. And the other day, I found one. We were just talking. They're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. See, she sold a car to get her car. You missed that.
Wow.
She said, Pastor, you've always talking about sowing cars into the young people's lives. I'm going to give you this car. This your seed to giving it away. And Q, the car was not the best looking car. It was a sound running car.
See there.
And the person that God told me to give it to lost their mind when they saw the car.
Dude.
Because she said, God, I just wish you would touch somebody to give me a car. And as beat up as that car was, when I gave it to her. She got on the ground and just started praising God.
See there.
Now watch this. This person gave her car away because she had another car, right? That one was taken. So she sold a good car, and now she's walking. God said, remember I told you 6 months to do that? Now is the time to do that. And my Memorial Day was spent on making sure that car was delivered.
See there.
And when the car was delivered, a family member laughed at her face and said, God ain't gonna do nothing for you. See, that's why you gotta have money. So when the spirit moves,
Yeah.
you can do it. And I don't move just because people sound like they got something going on. I don't care what people think. When the spirit tells me to do something, I do it.
And because you have listened and responded,
Everybody.
you it's easier to do it.
Right. I remember you.
Dude.
I didn't know. You remember you had on them cars and they started breaking down on you. I had a car, the little Saturn. I'm like, man, what you doing? Nothing, man. I'm just, Can you drive a stick? Yeah. That car carried you some
Dude.
all over the country.
Man, we drove,
Y'all kill that car.
we drove it and drove it and drove it. But yeah, man, it's the beauty of it that
The plan.
yeah.
The plan, Q. Here's what I know. It's the plan. We gotta work the plan that he gives us, man. And my prayer today for you coming, we can talk about this real because there's a lot of things you've shared, and God bless us to show we need to share. But we need to be as pastors talking about this.
Yeah.
Because we're the brokest ones.
Man, and forever.
Forever. The pastors are that's why they won't let me come in and talk to you, because they broke. They don't want nobody to know they broke. Because they put these fancy suits on by these cars and got all these notes and finance and leasing and stuff. Got their name on their suits like they don't know who they are. Looking the part and broke. So to bring me in and exposes you.
See.
And guess what happens? It's a different game. And I'm going to tell you this, Q. When I buried my mom the week after Mother's Day, it's a different grieving period when you have coverage.
Oh, for sure.
When you don't have coverage, guys, it'll wear you out. And I tell people today, just like we came up with a plan to start saving money, and you got insurance too, you're covered. We need to plan for the future, so if anything ever happens, your family does not grieve differently because you don't have nothing. They can grieve properly.
Oh, yeah.
Miss you, the person, not your check that you bring.
See there?
The church as well.
Yeah.
If something happens, pastors, we're trying to teach our pastor friends, get you some coverage on you, for you and your family, and for you and your church.
Man, that's the reality of life. When Karen's dad died in the early 80s, way back then, he had a $100,000 life insurance policy on him. 50 went to the family, 50 went to the church.
Right.
Well, see, even though he was dead, it put the church in a position to where you ain't got to beg, steal, or borrow. Because the coverage did that.
The coverage did that.
Yeah, and you got to worry about what you're going to do with my family because...
The coverage did that.
Dude, now, yeah, because 50 grand in the 80s, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
You cry differently knowing...
86, 92, 98, 2004, 2010, 2016, 2022. Okay? 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1.6 million, 3.2 million. That $50,000 back then is equivalent to 2.2 million.
When a whole lot of cats
Didn't have nothing. Don't have nothing.
And when you die, you got to beg.
And then guess what also happened? The church didn't have to worry about the first family. They're covered.
Oh yeah, because dude, they lived in the house you live in and all that. You ain't got to worry about Well, we got to move. We got to repossess cars. We got to... No, dude, their life didn't even change because coverage changed that.
Coverage.
Yes, sir.
Coverage changed that.
Financial literacy, man.
It's financial literacy, going from financial illiteracy to financial literacy. And then, like I tell you, I'm going to keep telling you, we want to get a finance ministry in your church. You don't have to do it. All of your members need to be understand this exists.
Yeah.
And that way, because they're coming to hear a word from you, when you speak about doing it, they'll do it. I don't want to work your church. Get you a couple of people that's in your church so they'll teach it right in line with what you're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to get conflicting information. You don't have to wonder. And I know you don't wonder. Well, what is she saying? No, you know who teaching your folk.
Yeah.
And you keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pastor now, and we figure out here he has 34 people, 17 couples taking that 9-week program from Dave Ramsey, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they get through, I'm stepping in. They're committed. Now let's implement everything you heard. Because Dave Ramsey don't teach you. They teach you what to do, but they can't do it. See, they're teaching my stuff. Because he used to be in Primerica. And now I'm going to come in and implement it for the people, and their lives will be fine.
See there.
So, man, we're going to get out of here. We're late. Man, I'll tell you afterwards, me being late was a divine intervention of God. I was going to share with a friend of mine, a brother of mine. The Lord put him in my spirit queue. He's right up the street. As I was driving to his house, he was driving right next to me. I didn't know if he was at home or not. And I followed him home. And dropped that word that God gave me to him. Changed our lives tonight. People say, it's a holiday. You go home and kick it. I got work to do. Go chill. And that's a good thing. I'm not knocking nobody. But the work of the ministry never is.
Yeah,
it's never a holiday. It's never... we have to take a day off. We have to steal a couple of hours to steal away and clear our mind. But David, the security guy, he told me yesterday, hey man, about a week I'm gonna talk to you about my dad. He's getting weak. Well, his dad died this morning.
Wow.
We don't have to wait a week. We start talking this morning. We don't know the day or the hour.
Yes, sir.
That our name's gonna be called.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you have a life insurance a minute too early
than a minute too late.
Than a minute too late, because it's too late. Once you start doing it, you can't do nothing about it. But man, I thank you so much for being here, sharing with me, man. I want to have you more. I think this is a good dialogue for us as both pastors, and we can put scripture to it, and we can, better yet, we can put evidence to it.
Oh yeah, because it's all kind of folk, man, watching.
Yeah, all kind of folk.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's real stuff, B.
Oh, absolutely.
Q, and for us to turn and see the difference, it's visible.
Hey, man.
Your church see you doing things different. Can I bless you? Everything about you, your word is different. Your teaching is different. Your praying, everything is different. Because you're on a different page now.
Hey, man, all glory go to God, man.
To God be glory. You want to forgive us for not praying ourselves in. We just jumped right in and started talking. Will you pray us out, Pastor Burkhead? Hey, thank y'all for listening. 92.9 FM KGPJ. Thanks to radio station for bearing with us in our touring this. Thank you for all those that are listening. And we're going to pray ourselves out of here, and we're going to be out of y'all way.
Father, thank you so much for this awesome time dialogue with Pastor T on 92.9 KGPJ. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the people who were able to tune in, to see something new, see something different, and not only to see it, to hear it, and maybe position themselves to do it, to see what God will do in their lives. You get the glory, honor, and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.